Is your neck feeling stiff right now? Do you sometimes feel dizzy and lightheaded, but just brush it off as a matter of your condition? Or have you received a blood pressure caution diagnosis in your checkup results, but are neglecting it by thinking, what does it matter if I have no symptoms? Why is high blood pressure called the silent killer? Even in this moment when you feel no pain, your blood vessels are gradually bursting and hardening under immense pressure. The paralysis caused by a sudden stroke one day and the sudden death from a heart attack are not due to bad luck, but rather the final warning sent by that number you ignored. Hypertension is not just a disease that can be controlled with medication, but a signal that requires a complete reset of your vascular ecosystem. Today's video will completely overturn your common knowledge about blood pressure. We will investigate the fundamental reasons why blood pressure remains uncontrolled even when taking medication and cutting out salty foods. Additionally, I will introduce a practical method for the V.A.S.S. three-step solution that naturally lowers blood pressure by making the blood vessels soft again. If you don't watch this video until the end, you may have to live your life relying on medication, carrying a ticking time bomb that could explode at any moment. Focus right now. The golden time to save your blood vessels starts now. Part 1. The cry of blood vessels 3. Real reasons why high blood pressure is scary. 1. The principle of rubber hoses and blood pressure. To easily understand high blood pressure, think of our body's blood vessels as an old rubber hose. What happens if you turn the faucet tightly and the water pressure becomes too strong? The weak spots will swell up, and eventually the old hose will burst. Destruction of endothelial cells. If high-pressure blood continues to flow, it can cause damage to the inner walls of the blood vessels' endothelial cells. When cholesterol and waste begin to accumulate in this wound area, the narrowing and hardening of blood vessels known as atherosclerosis begins. 2. The domino effect that destroys the whole body. High blood pressure is not just a matter of the numbers on a blood pressure monitor. This is the first piece of a domino that destroys everything with blood vessels. Stroke. If the thin blood vessels leading to the brain cannot withstand the pressure and burst, or if a narrowed area gets blocked, it can result in sudden hemiplegia or speech disorders, heart failure and myocardial infarction. The heart, which has to pump blood against high pressure, gradually becomes fatigued and enlarged. Ultimately, it leads to a critical condition where the heart muscle either necroses or is unable to pump effectively. Kidney failure. The kidneys, which are the filters of our body, are a mass of tiny blood vessels. High blood pressure damages this filter, ultimately leading to the tragedy of needing dialysis for life. 3. Why is it scarier when there are no symptoms? Surprisingly, our bodies adapt to high blood pressure. Even if my blood pressure rises to 160 or 180, I often just feel a little heavy-headed and I can still go about my daily life. But this is like the calm before the storm. When symptoms appear, it is likely that more than 70% of the blood vessels are already damaged. Part 2. Deadly myths and truths about hypertension. The incorrect information circulating on the internet is ruining your blood pressure management. Today, I will try to clear up those misunderstandings one by one. 1. Once you start taking blood pressure medication, you can't stop for life? The truth is this: blood pressure medication is not an addictive drug. The reason for taking the medication is to protect the blood vessels that feel like they might burst at any moment, serving as a lifeline. There are definitely people who, after losing weight and perfectly correcting their eating habits to bring their blood pressure back to normal range, reduce or stop their medication in consultation with their doctor. However, being too afraid of the medicine to even start is like not using a fire extinguisher in a burning house because you're scared of it. 2. Is low blood pressure more frightening than high blood pressure? The truth is, acute shock from low blood pressure is dangerous, but there are statistics suggesting that those who usually have slightly low blood pressure and do not show symptoms may actually live longer. On the other hand, hypertension inevitably damages blood vessels. It is not a comparison target. 3. As long as the back of my neck isn't stiff, I'm fine. Dangerous thoughts. Neck pain is often caused by muscle strain or stress. When blood pressure is very high, you may feel tension in the back of your neck, but conversely, it is quite common for the back of the neck to feel fine even when blood pressure is at a dangerous level. Trust the blood pressure readings, not the pain. Once lost, vascular health is really difficult to regain. If you know someone struggling with high blood pressure medication or suffering from neck pain, please share this video so we can all be healthy together. Your subscription and likes will be a great help in protecting vascular health. Part 3. Vascular Reset, V.A.S.S. 3-step solution to lower blood pressure without medication. Now it's the real deal. Introducing the V.A.S.S solution that can soften hardened blood vessels and lower blood pressure by more than 10 to 20 mmHg V vessel dilators. The miracle of potassium. If salt raises blood pressure, potassium is the cleaner that removes sodium from the body. Keep spinach, banana, avocado, and potatoes close. It has the effect of relaxing blood vessels. Vegetables rich in nitrates. Vegetables like beetroot and arugula convert into nitrates in the body, directly dilating blood vessels. Magnesium, a natural relaxant, helps to relieve the tension in blood vessel muscles. Make sure to include nuts and whole grains in your diet. The magic of activity and exercise. The power of aerobic exercise. Walking briskly for 30 minutes every day has a similar effect to taking one blood pressure medication because it increases the elasticity of the blood vessels. Isometric exercise. Recent studies have shown that isometric exercises like sitting against a plank or wall are very effective in lowering blood pressure. This is because when the blood vessels are strongly compressed and then released, a large amount of vasodilators are secreted. Salt control in diet. Disposing of broth. The main culprit of high blood pressure in Koreans is soup. Just by developing a habit of focusing on the solid ingredients, you can reduce sodium intake by half. DASH diet. The DASH diet, which emphasizes vegetables, fruits, and low-fat dairy products, is the most scientifically validated and powerful method for controlling blood pressure. Stress and sleep management. 5-second breathing method. When stressed, the sympathetic nervous system is activated, causing blood vessels to constrict. At this time, try doing diaphragmatic breathing by inhaling deeply for 5 seconds and exhaling slowly for 5 seconds for just 5 minutes. You may experience a sudden drop in blood pressure. Part 4. Accurate blood pressure measurement and management guide at home. There are many patients with white coat hypertension who have elevated blood pressure due to nervousness at the hospital. My blood pressure is really the value I measured at home. 5 principles for accurate blood pressure measurement. 5 minutes of rest before measurement. Sit down and calm your mind. Sitting in a chair with a backrest. Lean your back and place your soles on the ground without crossing your legs. Height adjustment of the arms. The height of the cuff should be at heart level. Prohibited items. Avoid caffeine intake, smoking, and exercise 30 minutes before measurement. Twice in the morning and evening. Measure and record within 1 hour after waking up and before going to bed. 2. The risks of morning blood pressure. Morning surge. Some people experience a sudden spike in blood pressure when they wake up. This is the reason why strokes and heart attacks mainly occur in the early morning and in the morning. If your morning blood pressure is high, you must consult your doctor to adjust the timing of your medication. 3. Warning signs that require expert consultation. Systolic 180 or higher. If your blood pressure is above 180 and 110 mmHg even after resting, it is an emergency. Seek medical attention without delay. Resistant hypertension. If your blood pressure does not stabilize even after taking about 3 types of medication, thorough examination is needed to check for other hidden causes. Part 5. Today's small habit for creating 100-year-old blood vessels. Hypertension is not a disease that can be cured with a single treatment. However, the food you eat every day, the 30 minutes you walk each day, and the deep sleep you get every night can rejuvenate your blood vessels. Don't get too worked up over the blood pressure readings. Instead, check how blandly I ate today and how joyfully I walked. Blood pressure readings do not betray your efforts. I sincerely support you in regaining the elasticity of your blood vessels, like in your 20s, and staying healthy to run until 100. If today's video was helpful, please share it with your loved ones, and don't forget to subscribe and like so you won't miss the next health news. If you have any questions or experiences about improving vascular health, please leave a comment and I will return with more helpful health information in the next video. Thank you.